Alright, so go back to another league race this time with TTL. This time we are at Spain. Classic cars, obviously using the 2010 Ferrari. So, yeah, happy days. Coming into this, I was pretty confident in terms of pace. Like, I felt pretty good. Found a setup that worked, tweaked it. So I'm pretty happy about that. We're going to stick with this one-shot qualifying here. I have been doing 19 kind of twos in time trial, so we're going to see what the story is here. But I guess heading into this one, I wasn't so much concerned about the pace as it was just keeping on the track, and that was obviously something that, you know, after the fallout in Australia, I really wanted to try and do in these two races, was just keep it together, get some points, and kind of just kind of get back into it in a good way, like respond in a good way. And yeah, this is a very mediocre lap, you're going to see, but I kind of spoiler, I recorded this once and was using the wrong XLR cable, so it sounded like shite. But we're going to stick with this lap. And yeah, I was reading a couple of places you can kind of mess up. We've passed through some of them. Turn 7 and 8 for one. Horrible turn 10. You can lose it on acceleration here if you're in a low enough gear. You can lose it if you kiss that, or if you ride that curb. You want to try and kiss it. And then coming up to here, this is my least favourite part of the track. It's the chicane, the part where I struggle with the most on no traction. This track, Spain, was where I first did no traction, I believe, and I lost it coming out of the last chicane. So I'd lost it a few times in kind of practice as well, so I was very much wary of that. But we do a 19.5, which is not too bad for all things considered in one shot to be kind of in that range. So it's good enough for 8th place, which I was content enough with, I have to say. Like, you know, it seems to be where I'm kind of filling in these kind of sessions, is that kind of 7th, 8th, 9th kind of area. So I guess that's not too bad, but I'm raging because I've only 8 thousandths off of Jeffrey there in 7th, so I thought maybe more could have been on the table. But yeah, I lost a lot in turn 10, but look, I was looking forward to it. Found a ballast that found a setting that worked. 9 ballast I'm using here, 211 wings. Here we go then for the start. I had a great start last time in Australia, so here we go then, 5 red lights. And away we go. And the start was okay, but the second phase was not great. Chapalele comes running through. I'm going to try and say his name a bit more because we're going to be facing him. A bit of wing flew off there. I only realised that now, actually, watching this back. We're just going to try and file in here. You can see a car goes off to the right hand side. So we're going to try and fill in here in P8, basically where we started. Excuse me, we're alongside this Ferrari, and there's a McLaren behind as well. This was very close. Conti looked like he was very early on the brakes, and he goes off. I know it's lap 1, of course, but I probably took a bit too much speed into that as well, so that was lucky. That could have ended in absolute disaster. And but we're into 7th place, so we're moved quite well to start, so I'm pretty happy about that. We're going to stick with this first lap as we're behind Chapalele. It's kind of a funny coincidence that we're kind of back with him once again after, you know, the short escapade in Australia. We had some good racing, so I'm happy. I've kind of chucked into myself about that, but he goes down the inside of Honey Badger, who I can see. You can see on the left hand side he's got wing damage. So I'm hoping this is a bad part of the track to catch someone with wing damage. So hoping I can just navigate him without any trouble. See what his exit of the final corner is like, but he kind of makes life easy and kind of goes across the chicane there. So thankfully that was that dealt with. And we're into P6 now off the bat, so not a bad lap to begin. Some chance of some good points as long as I keep it on the road. So just a coup head Sean there at 1 point, so just 1 second behind Chapalele. Lap 5, it kind of brought the gap down to Chapalele, and just for the squabbles and the such behind us, it meant that Sean's about 2.8 to 3 seconds behind. This is kind of a consistent gap. We've gone to lap 10, so kind of a lot of time has passed and not a lot has happened. We're just chilling behind Chapalele again. The gap has really come down this lap, because I've really caught Chapalele this last lap, and I've kind of a little struggled myself, but also he's been kind of holding me up a little bit. But he goes wide, makes a mistake heading into the chicane, and the rejoin I was a little bit questionable on, because I was questionable from him rather, because it was very, very close, but it was timed well in the end, and thankfully we didn't collect each other. But yeah, that's P5 now. And all of a sudden now I'm now the defender. I was the attacker, now looking to defend. So the dynamic shifts then for the second part of the race, but I did quite well to kind of resist it. Seeing going quickest, I'm going to do a personal best rather, lap 14. He's 8 tenths behind. He's going to do nothing from that area, so Happy enough then. This first race was pretty quiet then. He actually retires later that lap, and that really alleviated all the threat then. I was kind of feeling confident anyways. I was looking back less, and I was feeling pretty good that I was going to be able to keep him behind. Again, we're going to go green here into the 19s now. But yeah, 3.2 to Charlie in front of him, slowly catching, and 3.2 to Sean behind. So settle down then, and yeah, that's basically this first race. I caught Charlie a lot in this last lap. Like, I caught him a lot. The gap then you can see is like 1 point something in the end, 1.1. Just fell short of a PB on the last lap there, but P5, really happy with that. After obviously, last week was not great for me. After I was in a solid position. I think it might have been P5 as well, P6, but yeah, going to look at the lap times as well. Into the 20s for the most part, but the second part of the race was really consistent. Once I got into the 19s, I stuck there. So really happy with the consistency of that. We're going to jump straight to the end of the one-shot qualifying lap on race 2. I'm actually going to do a 19.2, so I was pretty happy with this lap in a one-shot capacity. So where will that get me? It will get me P8 once again. I just fell short of P7 again to Jeffrey there. So I think a 19.2 will put me in like 6th or something in the first race, or at least 7th. So I thought I'd get a practice start for this one, and but it doesn't go too well. I couldn't help but laugh to myself as this happened, because I haven't had the first start. I wasn't feeling too good about it, but the practice one didn't help either. Here we go then. Here's the real one. Away we go again. The first phase is good, but the second phase I just kind of fell away. I did kind of shift early, so I think that's Sean on the left hand side of the McLaren. He's gone. So we're in P9. A gap opens to the inside. I'm going to try and go down it, but I have to obviously brake a little earlier and be a bit more careful. Those guys on the racing line. Again, cars behind me. I wish I had been a bit more careful as to take a tight line into turn 3. Not that I had a ton of control of it, because obviously dirty air for the cars in front, but going to be sent one up the inside there by Charlie, and I was hoping that the space be left where the gap closes off, and then Chapelele's then as well. Again, it didn't really intend for that to be an overtaking move, or an attempted one. It wasn't, but Chapelele then has got me, and I'm going to try and hold it into, try and launch one into turn 7, but he's got a better line, and I kind of lose the back end a bit, and that's not a great start. So definitely playing behind early on here, and I knew Honey Badger was quick. Like, he's probably arguably he was one of the quickest guys on this grid. So I thought, that's not good. I've been 11th, and I've got one of the quicker guys behind me. So at this phase, the race, this phase of the race, the thinking kind of just changed. I just wanted to kind of hang around, because Chapelele, Charlie, I felt like I was pretty similar in terms of pace. So all I had to do was kind of keep close and kind of hope either they tangle with the guys in front of them, or kind of maybe wait for a mistake to happen, or something, like it did for the last race with Chapelele. So that's where the mindset was now heading into lap 2. And later this lap, again, Chapelele's going to actually dive past Charlie there, and I thought his run is disrupted. I'm going to try and have a run here into turn 9, but difficult to do that. Couldn't really send one down the inside there. It's not a braking zone. Honey Badger is still behind as well, so I'm conscious of that. But yeah, just trying to hang on, stick with this group, because I think that my pace is good, and if I stick with them, then who knows what happens. Penalties could happen as well. So I actually get a little bit concerned here, because I'm conscious of the arrow behind me, and then suddenly it gets very close, and then out of that chicane, it's like, what's going on? But actually I was like, how has he got such a good run out of that chicane? But he's actually cut out a bit, I think, and he's gone into the pits. So yeah, that's where we are. And now at this stage, there's kind of no one behind me apart from Mace, who's a long way back. And I thought, I can only go upwards at this stage of the race. I can only go up. So that gave me confidence. What gave me more confidence was seeing that piece of front wing flying in front of me from the guys in front. It was Jeffrey and Chapelele squabbling there. I didn't know whose front wing that was at the time, but I was like, well, I don't know, but I'm going to find out very soon, because this turn 3 will expose who has damage. And sure enough, it is Jeffrey, who goes very wide through 3. I thought, okay, well, it must be you. So we slip through to P10, and this is what I was looking for in this race. People kind of trip up and these kind of things, and I would take advantage. Lap 6, again, same thing happened. Chapelele's going to have a moment heading out of turn 8 off onto the grass, and we're going to nip on through there and move into P9. So happy enough with this. And now Charlie's in front of me now. I had a little bit of unfinished business with Charlie, because I thought I was quicker than Charlie, but just had to stick with it. He's in front of me, not too far. There's a few cars in front of him that aren't far away. I had been using lean coming out of the first race to the chicane. I didn't do the second one, and the car gets away. Ah, that bites, man. I was very careful. I was looking at my map. I was noticed that Mays was coming, so yeah, thankfully I didn't collect him. But yeah, I felt confident in the first race. I was using lean coming out of that chicane because it was the part where I definitely feared the most. But then towards the end of the race one, I was using standard, and I used standard all through this race. I don't know, man. It's an unfortunate mistake. I did think the car got away a little bit harshly from me, but that doesn't matter now. We're behind Mays. This is our race now in front of us. We're going to try and get by Mays, but I think I was definitely quicker than Mays. I think this is going to be the consistent theme is that I'm constantly going quicker through the first two sectors on my personal best, but the third sector is where I completely falls away. So, and again, I can't get close enough because these cars, there's obviously no DRS. I'm running 211 wings, so I'm topping out at 188, 189 miles an hour without slipstream, 187 without slipstream. So again, lap 13 into the 21s. I should be in the 20s, getting close to the 19 to this phase of the race. So this is frustrating. I'm losing a lot of time here. My engine's overheating a bit. Have another go after trying to cool my engine a little bit. Lap 14 again. 20.6, a little bit quicker, but I should be getting close to the 19s. And again, I'm topping out 190. And this straight's long, but it's not even that. It's not long enough for me to try and launch it down the inside. I'm nowhere close. And it's tough, obviously, to overtake these cars, especially on this track, the launch coming out of the last corner. But this was as good as it got for me. Heading on to lap 16, I thought, surely this time I've got a chance. Even with the reduced speed, if I can get close enough, I can at least launch one into turn one. And again, I see I'm topping out. I'm running out straight. I have to send it. I thought I just have to send it. So I'll launch one down the inside, later on the brakes. Space is left, good races, a little bit of contact there, but thankfully light contact, and boom, I am through there into P9. So I was really satisfied with that overtake because I was really intensely concentrating through, ever since I spun. And then you can see here at lap 17, 20.1, but finally a green sector 3. So I ran with a little bit less fuel. It didn't serve me any good in the end, but I ran rich for the for this last lap just to see what we could have done in terms of pace. And it was a 19.6. So that kind of bummed me out a little bit because I was like, the pace was good. And I had ran with less fuel this time because I had half a lap left last time. And I ran with less fuel, and I thought this would be to my advantage near the end of the race. Because of my pace, I felt like the end of the race was good. But yeah, sadly, this race, it didn't matter enough to get there this time. But it's P9, so not the best race 2, but a good race 1. And I had fun with it as well. Like, at this point, I obviously lose the back end of my own kind of accord out of the last second to last turn, but these things happen. At least I was able to have a race with someone after that. You know, so that was fun. Kind of pursuing Maze and eventually, prevailing. That was fun. So I did enjoy that. You can see my lap times there. Well, it's gone off the screen now, but my lap time was only I think it was 6 fast. I think only Conti was doing a 19.5, so that's kind of where we were close at, quicker than the guys in front. But alas, it wasn't to be. That's going to do it for this round of TTL Classic Cars. See you next time.